Today we're going to be breaking down some film from our Miami, Florida quarterback and wide receiver camp. We're going to be discussing a press release that all wide receivers need to learn, and then we're going to show some raw, unedited footage of some different wide receivers going through this release and myself coaching them up. So we hope you guys get a ton of value out of this video. We appreciate you tuning in.
All right, so you guys, so biggest thing about releases, I would say, because we're gonna be going over a situation where you guys get faced with press. You guys honestly got to think of press coverage as like a gift. You know what I mean? Because like it's very, very easy to beat press if you know what to do and if you know how to execute the right move. And that's what we're gonna be going over right now. Okay, so now first things first. There's two things that you want to look for on a DB that tell you what release to use, right? So first one is going to be the DB's leverage. Who could tell me what a DB's leverage is? What do you guys think that is?
Which way he's like facing, like if he's more to the inside than the outside.
Yeah, so if he's more to, that's correct. So if he's more to the inside, what leverage does he have?
The inside.
Inside leverage, right? If he's, so like, let's say you're the DB, come on, stand out here for a second. So if he's like this, and he probably won't be turned like this, he's probably gonna be more facing you, but usually rule of thumb is the middle of his body is even with our front foot. So that means he has inside shade. Now, the reason why we wanna know that is that can tell us a lot about what he is trying to accomplish. So when he's inside shade, what is he trying to accomplish?
Trying to negate you from getting to the inside.
Press, yes.
And he's also trying to make you go to the outside.
Love it, right? So he's trying to prevent the inside release and force us to his help, which is not a safety, not a linebacker, it's the what? Not the corner, because he is the corner. The sideline, because if we run out of bounds, we're out of the play, you know what I mean? So what we got to understand, that's why we want to know what that is. Because now when it comes down to, you're going to hear me say a lot today, your plan, your guys' plan off the line. We pick our plan, and guys, make sure we're looking at me, make sure you're paying attention. Our plan off the line comes from knowing his leverage, and the second thing is going to be the distance he has from me, right? So he could be pressed up right on the line, but still be inside leverage, right? Now he could be 2 steps away, so back up a little bit, like back up this way, and still be inside leverage. His goal doesn't change, but the distance is what changed. So that's what determines the release that I choose, his leverage and the distance. Now, can the DB change up what he's doing? Absolutely, right? Do any of you guys play DB? Okay, so yeah, right? So a lot of you guys probably know, like this guy, like he might show these inside shade, ball snapped, and then he might jump outside. So as a receiver, we want to have a plan, right? Like, okay, he's inside shade, I'm going to do this. But we also got to be prepared to react if he changes up what he does. And that's what we're going to work a lot on today with these next couple drills that we're going to do.
What if he like tries to press?
Well, if he tries to press, obviously we got to use my hands, and I'm glad you brought that up. So like, let's say for example, you're lined up here. And so when he's inside shade, we usually, are we going to be able to release inside, or are we going to have to release outside? Have to release outside, because this guy's not going to give it up, usually, right? He might disguise it, but usually that's why he's lined up here. So if he's lined up here, a lot of people get way too complicated with the hand technique. If, like you asked, what do I do if he tries to jam? You got to know which hand, this is part of my plan, to beat on this guy. So to take an outside release, like let's say, oh, one second, I'll get your question in a second. Let's say he jams with 2 hands. Does this hand matter? No, because I'm just trying to get an outside release, right? Exactly. So what are you going to say?
You can like do this.
Yeah, you swat his hands, right? So like if he 2-handed jams,
And pull it away from him.
you could also do that as well. There's many different ways. Hey, guys, like listen, there's probably like 10 different things I could do with my hands right here, but conceptually, here's put your hands out. I just got to beat this arm if I'm trying to take an outside release. Let's say he's head up, right in front of me, and he 2-hand jams, but I want to take an inside release. Which hand do I got to beat now? This hand. So that's my goal. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about, I'm not doing this. I'm not trying to swim. I'm not doing all this pointless stuff. I have a plan with my feet, and I got a plan with my hands, and I got to go, because we got to get off the ball quick against press. His whole goal with press is to disrupt timing. Our job is to keep timing and not let him do that. Does everybody feel me on that?
Yes,
so if I'm here and let's say he's inside shade, right? Number one, this is where a lot of guys panic. They're thinking too much about the hands, and they'll just go try to move their hands, but they don't set this guy up with his feet. All he's going to do is, let's say I swat your hand, he's going to recover with this hand, cut me off, and force me to the sideline. Because I didn't do anything with my feet. I didn't set him up with my feet first. That's why the feet are more important, I would say, than the hands. So if he's inside shade, my goal should be, okay, I'm going to make him miss, and then I'm going to attack this outside hand. Because if I can get him to move, and then I swat this, I feel like he won't be able to recover. And if he gets hands on me with this, so what? I'm off the press and I can just go. Does everybody follow me on that? Okay.
Now, guys, if you're a wide receiver and you would like to come out and train with us in one of our training camps like you were watching on this video, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to information all about our camps, how you can sign up, what we'll be covering at the camps, and the different states we will be traveling to. Next up on our camp tour, you guys, we're going to be coming out to Chicago, Illinois. Then we'll be heading out to Buffalo, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, and Los Angeles, California. So guys, 2-day-long training camps. I myself will be there, my staff of coaches, everybody. So we hope we can see you there if you're local to one of those cities. So again, guys, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this video.
So now, let's say he's outside shade, right? So line up outside shade. So if he's outside shade, why is he lined up there?
Because he's trying to get you to the inside.
Because he has what inside? Help? No, yeah, help. And like what defender? Probably a safety, right? So he lines up like this, hoping that I just go like this and run. Because if I just take off and run, I'm going right to where? Linebackers, safeties, I'm covering myself, right? So again, you probably are gonna have to release where, inside or outside, when you have outside shade. Well, like let's say I gotta run like a corner. Let's say it's a corner.
And you in this position, wouldn't you want to go outside and stack on me?
Yeah, I would want to take the inside release and try to work to stack. Because if I try to force this outside release and he's outside shade, what is he taught not to do when he's outside shade?
Give up the outside.
Give up the outside. And guys, I need everybody looking at me, I need everybody paying attention. Hey, I don't know if we're listening, we're not looking at me, all right? So if I try to force this outside release and he's outside shade, he's just gonna get hands, force me to the sideline. Then when I go to break, I'm not gonna have any room. You know what I'm saying? I need to give the quarterback room. Does everybody feel me on that? So what would I do? If he's outside shade like this, what would I do with my feet?
Outside release?
Not an outside release. I would fake like I'm doing an outside release, right? So I would go here, trying to set him up outside, take the inside release, and my goal is to do what with him?
Stack.
Stack. Does everybody know what that means? Stack? Good, thank you. So stacking is when you get over the top of this DB and he is trailing your back hip. So now they call this, exactly, they call this like a two-way go. What I mean by that is like I could break inside, I could fake inside and break outside because I stacked him. So that's what we're gonna be working on right now. Does everybody got me on that? Okay, so we're going 2 guys at a time. Our left foot is going to be up. Now, again, make sure we're switching lines. We're not catching a ball at this. We're just solely working on our feet right now. So you guys are gonna be lined up, perfect receiver stance. We're gonna be taking something called a prep step. Does anybody know what a prep step is? Has anybody ever heard of that? So yeah, pretty much, exactly, right? So prep step, let's say my left foot is up. We're treating like that orange cone over there to the right, and this orange cone is where the DB is. So what shade is that if the quarterback's over there?
Outside shade.
Outside shade, right? So if he's outside shade, even if I gotta run an outside breaking route, with the exception of a fade, because a fade can get a little tricky sometimes. Let's say it's a 10-yard out. He's outside shade. I'm not gonna get an outside release. So I wanna make him think I'm going outside to try to move him, and then we're gonna stay tight to these cones so I could do what? What was that called? Stack him, right? So now this release is called a wide step release. Why do you think we call it a wide step?
Because your feet are wide when you're trying to fake that.
Yeah, because you're stepping wide to try to get him to move. It's pretty self-explanatory. But hey, this move, because we're trying to make him think that I'm just doing a speed release to the outside as fast as I can to try to get him to think, oh, I don't want to get beat to the outside. And then we got him. We don't got to break his ankles. We just need him to move a little bit. Does everybody got me on that? So it's a single step. It's not more than one step. But to get speed on this step, you have to take that prep step that we were talking about. So I want everybody to look at my front foot. A lot of coaches will say that this is a false step. It is not a false step. It is a part of the release right now. If this is zone coverage, this is a false step. But right now, it's a part of the release. You're going to take this foot as quickly as you can. You're going to pick it up and punch the ground. But when you punch the ground, you are going to push off of it so this wide step can step further and you could bring your hip and your body with the cut to sell it.
Is this before the play or when the play starts?
This is like as soon as I say go. So this is like it's part of the release. So it's a quick jab and a push. Now, hey guys, when we push to here, we are driving off of this. Your right shoulder is going to dip slightly and we are going to stay tight around the cone and accelerate through. Yes, just like that. Does everybody got me on that? Okay. Good, not bad. Hey, just when you do that wide step, I need you to push off of it to get up into it a little bit more speed, because it looked like we just cut and stopped and then got out. Cut, push, let's get out of that thing, okay? All right, guys, and back up like that, those cones if you're not up.
No, right here.
Like, hey, like even with that, back up, you guys. Yeah, on the next one we'll even it out, okay? I think it's a little off now. All right, here we go. Set, go. Good, nice set. Hey, but guys, here's the deal. We only, both of you guys come here. We're only gonna get out what we put in on this drill. After we do this release, I need you guys to sprint to the 15. Okay, so treat it like an actual route. I know we're not getting to the 15-yard line right there. You guys see that? So it's like 5 yards away from where we start, or 10 yards away. To the,
I mean the white cone. That's a little bit farther. No, 15.
The 15, yeah. But hey, but do you guys get what I'm saying? Like, let's finish the drill. Let's not just cruise through it, okay? Just so we don't get in that habit, all right? Here we go. Let's